was that episode? The Sam Rockwell monologue in season 3, episode 5's White Lotus really just threw me in for a loop, and I just had to say something about it. As an Asian and a gay person myself, I certainly know what it feels like to be fetishized by a white man. This is where shit's getting really interesting, because so far in the season, not that interesting. Every episode, it's like the gays are like, it's great, but ultimately nothing's really happening after the episode is finished and we actually have a conversation about it. It's like, okay, so in that one we got 3 women talking. This monologue though was very intriguing. I was very invested. It made me feel a mixture of things. I didn't know if I wanted a trigger warning beforehand or a documentary about Sam Rockwell's life. Mike White really just unlocked a conversation that I don't think white people are having. I just know that all of the white guys in Los Angeles who are taking an acting class are going to be eating up this monologue, printing it out, highlighting it, and performing it in front of the class. Yeah, I don't know if I wanted to an Asian girl or be the Asian girl. And then they think they're gonna go get their Oscar. So we just need to revisit some of it, I think.
I picked Thailand because I always had a thing for Asian girls.
Chills down my spine. Oh my God, what is he gonna say next? I'm scared.
I was picking up girls every night. Teen ones,
blah. This is the representation that Mike White chose to go with, because the truth of the matter is, yes, white male fetishizers love youthful Asian women with tight kitties. What Mike White does best is bring up up things and ways of thinking that white people have, and then just kind of putting it out there and then maybe not saying much more about it.
After about 1,000 nights like that, why do I feel this need to all these women? What is desire? The form of this cute Asian girl, why does it have such a grip on me?
The first thing that I thought was 1,000 nights, 365 times 3, every single day for 3 years. Okay, got it. I can see how that could lead to some kind of, life transformation of sorts. I think gay men can take a page out of Sam Rockwell's book right now, especially because cis gay men are attracted to other cis gay men, and that does not exist for other types of relationship or hookup dynamics. That is where the question of, do I desire this or do I desire to be this, becomes very, very pressing. I have certainly been on the side of, wait, maybe I'm just attracted to this super muscular white guy with big titties because I want to be that. And I think it is a little bit of that, but upon more and deeper reflection, it isn't always just about that. It's also like, you want to feel those titties. You want to touch those titties with your hands, just because that's interesting. It's not necessarily that you want them. I mean, I have been working out at the gym a little bit more. Unless you are in a twin-ass relationship, twincest, and you're dating who you are, in which case, congratulations. Congratulations.
What I really wanted was to be one of these Asian girls getting f***ed by me, and to feel that. And I'm f***ing me.
So this was the bomb drop. And I don't know that I've ever fully put myself in the shoes of a white man fetishizer and asked myself, is this because I want to be like that? I've never had to do that internal work, frankly. Do y'all really think that that's what goes in the minds of a fetishizer, that they so deeply want to know what it's like to be the other person? In this sense, sex is like a window to him being able to be someone else, and to be someone who is so opposite from who he is at the outside, which is why it's super interesting that he's about to say the whole body versus the soul, something like that. What it feels like being someone who is so opposite, or in such an opposite position from you. And in that way, it's like, oh, you can be anything. Like, you can be the white guy or you can be the Asian girl. You can be anything in between, and you can understand what it feels like to be all of these things. So it's like character is trying to his way to this answer of who is he really on the inside, and he's using kind of this sex addiction sort of to find his way to like wholeness or congruence. That's a freedom that isn't necessarily granted to those who are the objects of fetish desire. There's something very reductive about that when you're the other side, when you are the physical Asian girl, or, you know, like gay Asian, like twink, or someone who is just assumed to be a submissive bottom. Because if you're in that position, you don't really get to do that. You don't really get to have that freedom or exploration of, oh, like, am I the dominant white guy? Like, if you're put in the position of being the submissive one, you don't get to have the freedom of seeing what it's like on the other side. And I think that's what, you know, like people of color, people who have been fetishized understand, and understand why it is such a hurtful or complicated thing. I was talking to my friend Melinda, and one point that she made was like, Sam Rockwell's character is different than your typical average white fetishizing guy, because he has this whole like dramatic life change where he decides to be celibate and to be sober. But her guess, and my guess too, is that there probably isn't that much awareness going on or much desire for transformation from other like white guys who only Asian girls. So I guess rock on, Sam Rockwell. Good for you for doing the work. I guess I never really thought about the idea of, oh, wait, do you want to be me? I don't think that that's, you know, Sam Rockwell is able to speak to the entire community of white male fetishizers, WMFs. But I did think that that thought was interesting, that it's like, yes, you know, we have the understanding, it's very attainable to be like, oh, you're obsessed with Chinese food, you're obsessed with Chinese artifacts. Ooh, that's kind of weird. But the idea that maybe a WMF themselves want to be Asian or want to be a girl, it's kind of like, there's something about that that's like, oh, sweetie, like, you're just like us. You also don't always want to be in the body that you're in. I want to talk more about like being on the other side of it. In my earlier dating life, I have mostly dated and hooked up with white guys. And the same with Melinda, who wrote this article in the Huffington Post, and it's titled Decolonizing My Love Life, What I Learned When I Stopped Dating White Men. My dating life became a rotation of white men who, in retrospect, viewed me as something between a conquest and a curiosity. This is where things take a dark turn. There was the white finance executive who proudly told me I was his first Asian. Gross. The Polish fitness guru who needed to call me his Chinese bitch to finish. That one is absolutely disgusting. Polish fitness guru, I feel like, is a specific enough title such that I'm kind of like, I bet I could find him. The doughy-faced man at the club who whispered in my ear, I wish you were off the boat Asian so you wouldn't know how to speak English. Gross! Then there was my white ex who cheated on me with another East Asian girl, then updated his bio to stop Asian hate. Start fetishizer hate. That's a campaign that I'm trying to start. Who's with me? That is insane. And I'm so sorry, Melinda. What she did when she found out, besides, you know, throwing away the flowers, ugly ass color palette, light green, light pink, light yellow, gross. You're gross. You have no taste. Except for your fucked up ones about specifically Asian women. She immediately broke up with him, props to you, Melinda, and followed a framework from the Invisibilia podcast, where an East Asian woman decided to stop dating white men. Bold, okay? And I know, you know, if there's anyone who's out there being like, white males, oh, they have it hardest right now. They're the most oppressed minority right now. Shut the up. She won. Bombard your brain with images of hot men of color. This has worked on me. What I will say is Donald Glover did it for me in Mr. and Mrs. Smith. 2, be suspicious of white men. Is he actually hot, or does he just take regular showers and wear cool glasses? Especially for my gays out there, like, there are some very, very sexy white men. I'm not even going to lie. But, ooh, there are a lot who aren't. There are a lot who are very mediocre and average looking. And honestly, y'all, props to those white men, gay or straight or whatever, who have an awareness of their mediocrity in terms of their physical appearance. Sometimes it's going to happen, you know? A white guy is going to be dating or married to an Asian girl or an Asian gay. And that's okay. That is okay if you've done the internal work. Part of that internal work, being able to tell people, being able to be straight up about how you're the ugly one in the relationship. Honestly, respect. And then 3, what she did was swipe left on white men. Now, I found this to be kind of radical because it's like all white men, like even if you came across like the hottest like white guy in the entire, and you know what? I think she kind of did it. She said, and I believe that this is true. If my brain could be trained to prioritize whiteness, it could be retrained to desire something else. And then she goes on to talk about how she found who she is in a happy relationship with, a South Asian man, beautiful, who also just kind of understands her in a way fundamentally that requires far less explaining than if she were dating a white man. For example, fraught family relationships, or how, you know, if you're coming home to visit, you better believe that you're going to be sleeping in separate beds. Okay, let's not even question that. Also importantly, how getting out of the white man framework helped her really connect and not feel this competition with other Asian women. Amazing. So if you needed a reminder, if you're conflicted because this white guy who seems like he exclusively only dates Asian girls wants to date you and maybe says some weird things and sends some weird winky emojis to you and you know what he's up to, maybe just pass. Maybe just pass. I don't know. But Sam Rockwell, thank you very much for shedding light on the experience, the very specific experience of a white straight man who is so upfront about interrogating his sexual impulses and his desires and unpacking where it comes from. Because although your feelings are problematic, they are valid. You better smash that subscribe button. You followed the podcast because we are coming back for season 2. Get in on it because we have a lot more to say. Bye-bye.